35, 265 COVID cases reported from Kerala in India, and the maximum deaths numbering 13 are in Maharashtra and 6 deaths each in Gujarat and Madhya Pradesh. Now to the world figures. More than 800,000 confirmed cases worldwide, more than 41,000 deaths across the world, and 205 countries or territories are being affected by the virus. And in just one day alone, on 1st April, more than 72,000 cases have been reported worldwide. Right, let's now get you all the news about India. Now, the World Health Organization has praised Prime Minister Narendra Modi for his efforts to inclusively fight the COVID-19 pandemic. The WHO Director General Tedros Adhanom gave the example of Prime Minister Modi to the world. Listen in.
Many countries are asking people to stay at home and shutting down population movement, which can help to limit transmission of the virus, but can have unintended consequences for the poorest and most vulnerable people. I have called on governments to put in place social welfare measures to ensure vulnerable people have food and other life essentials during this crisis. In India, for example, Prime Minister Modi has announced a $24 billion package, including free food rations for 800 million disadvantaged people, cash transfers to 204 million poor women, and free cooking of gas for 80 million households for the next 3 months. Many developing countries will struggle to implement social welfare programs of this nature. For those countries, debt relief is essential to enable them to take care of their people and avoid economic collapse.
Now, India celebrated the festival of Ram Navami on 2nd April. President Ram Nath Kovind, Vice President Venkaiah Naidu and Prime Minister Narendra Modi greeted people on the occasion of Ram Navami. Now, owing to lockdown, devotees offered prayers at home. In New Delhi, for instance, the famous Lakshmi Narayan temple remained empty. Right, moving on, Sikh spiritual singer and Padma Shri awardee Nirmal Singh died due to coronavirus in Punjab on the morning of 2nd April. Nirmal Singh was a former Hazuri Ragi at the Golden Temple in Amritsar. He had recently returned from a trip abroad and was admitted to the hospital after he complained of breathlessness and dizziness on 30th March. Now, they say necessity is the mother of invention. I say it's the mother of innovation too. Now, Naval Dockyard Mumbai has designed and developed its own handheld temperature sensor for screening the large number of people who enter the yard. It reduces the burden on the security personnel posted there. The instrument costs less than 1,000 rupees or about $13 US, which is a fraction of the market cost. Now, since the outbreak, non-contact thermometers of temperature guns have become scarce in the market and are being sold at a very high price. And now to the heartwarming story of a 7-year-old boy from India's northeastern state of Mizoram. Romel Lanwan Sangha from Kolasip Venglai has lent a helping hand to the fight against COVID-19. He donated his entire savings of 333 rupees to his village-level task force set up to fight the coronavirus crisis. Now, Mizoram Chief Minister Zoramthanga lauded the boy. In a tweet, the Chief Minister expressed his gratitude and called the boy a hero for the generous contribution. Right, time now for the Ground Zero segment, in which we get you ground reports from our correspondents across the country and the world. Now, the governor of Assam The government of Assam is strongly enforcing social distancing norms in the state. My colleague Kamal Boro reports from Guwahati. Take a look.
There will be no relaxation in lockdown, and this will remain till 14th April as decided nationally. And this was the clear message from Assam Chief Minister Sarbananda Sonowal yesterday amidst many speculations over the issue. As the state detects its first positive case yesterday in Borak Valley, right now the process is on to bring all other persons who took part in the Jamaat in New Delhi a few days back under quarantine as much as possible. Right now we have seen that Assam government is leaving no stone unturned to fight against COVID-19. If we talk about preparedness, yes, the state is ready with 4,000 bedded quarantine facilities along with many upcoming dedicated hospitals to deal with COVID-19. If we talk about supply of essential commodities, yes, the state government is taking all measures to get supplied all essential commodities to each and every household. We have seen that free rice, free pulses are being distributed for the poor. And this is how the state government is dealing with this COVID-19. With camera person Hawk, Kamal Bora reporting for DD India.
All right, shifting focus to international news now. No country is immune from COVID-19. Spain is one of the worst affected countries in the world. Now, Spain's ambassador to India, Jose Ramon Barañano, spoke to DD India, and this is what he had to say. Listen in.
Spain is one of the most affected countries by the coronavirus pandemic. 7,500 people have already been killed in Spain by this virus. And we still have another 85,000 people infected. And although we think that the number of people who are going to die is going to diminish seriously in the next 10 or 15 days, the numbers are extremely hard to swallow. 20% of all the people killed by the virus all over the world are Spanish. In India, we don't have any cases, and the embassy is working very, very hard in helping and protecting the Spanish community in the country. Following the recommendations of the Indian government, we have reduced our staff by 2/3. But the people who are now working in the embassy are fully dedicated in helping the 500 tourists stranded today here in India and many residents that may also require our support. We are helping them with evacuation plans, working together with our European countries. We help them with internal transportation, road transportation because of the problem in the borders between states, and also in specific problems of individual nature. Till this situation passes, our embassy will be fully dedicated to solve the issues of the Spanish residents here in India.
Right, let's now take a look at what else is making news around the world. A Russian military plane carrying medical supplies landed at New York, the epicenter of the coronavirus outbreak in the United States. Russia has previously sent medical supplies and experts to coronavirus in Italy as part of a humanitarian effort. In Colombia, police is resorting to creative methods to urge people to stay at home during the quarantine to prevent further spread of the coronavirus. In Medellin, a funeral car was used to issue alert messages for citizens to stay at home during the state of emergency. In the northern Colombian city of Barranquilla, police used drones with loudspeakers to warn people to stay home. But the Colombian police also entertained the people by singing. Now, since Wednesday, Colombia began a nationwide lockdown until 13th of April with strict restriction on movement. Colombia has reported more than 700 cases and 3 deaths till now. Wimbledon has been cancelled for the first time since World War II because of the coronavirus pandemic. The tournament was due to be played between 29 June and 12 July. The entire grass court season has been abandoned and there will be no professional tennis anywhere in the world until at least 13th July. Wimbledon is the latest major summer sporting event to be called off, with Euro 2020 and the Tokyo Olympics postponed for 12 months. It follows the postponement of the French Open, which was due to begin in May but has been rescheduled from 20th September to 4th October. Japan remains on the brink of a state of emergency as the rate of coronavirus infections continues to increase in the country. Chief Cabinet Secretary Yoshihide Suga told journalists that controlling the virus was a top priority and the government would do whatever is needed to minimize the economic impact. Residents in China's lockdown city of Wuhan have found a new way to shop at their local wet market while social distancing, roping in the use of chairs and their mobile phones to make grocery purchases across the top of 2-meter-tall plastic barriers. On the barriers, which block what would have been a bustling neighborhood wet market, sellers hung whiteboard signs saying that vegetables, rice and oil for sale. Now, sellers had also laid out slabs of pork and other food items for sale on tables. Barricades went up across the city after it was shut down in late January due to the coronavirus, blocking shops and dividing it into segments that could be easily monitored for people disobeying orders to stay home, making residents wholly reliant on online deliveries. The restrictions have started easing amid a sharp drop in the new local cases of the virus. And Greece reported its first case of coronavirus among the thousands of migrants in overcrowded camps in the country. The case was a refugee mother who recently gave birth in an Athens hospital. The woman had been staying in the Ritsona camp about an hour north of Athens, which houses some 2,500 people. Authorities say they were attempting to trace where the asylum seeker had become infected and who she came into contact with. They were looking at the possibility that she may have been infected at the hospital. Now, aid agencies have warned that the migrant camps across the country are ripe for the spread of the virus due to the overcrowding and unsanitary conditions, particularly on the Greek islands. The government has implemented movement restrictions in the camps as part of preventive measures. The country went into lockdown on 23rd March. Now, tracking COVID-19 is not all about gloom and doom. There's good news too, as the next segment tells you. Women auto drivers in Maharashtra's Thane are helping people reach the hospital in a medical emergency. About 25 of them help pregnant women, dialysis patients and the elderly reach the hospital. Mind you, they offer this service free of cost to women. With the approval of the district magistrate, a helpline number has been issued by the Thane Regional Transport Office for rickshaw on demand in the city. The helpline number is 99673 12176. I repeat, 99673 12176. Now, the service is available between 10 in the morning and 5 in the evening every day.
कोरोना वायरस का संकट पूरे महाराष्ट्र पे या पूरे देश पे आया है और ये इसमें रुग्ण जो इमरजेंसी है, जिसमें डायलिसिस करने जाना है, जिसको ब्लड चेक करने जाना है, जिसका रूटीन चेकअप है, इसलिए हमने हमारे अलग मंत्री एकनाथ शिंदे साहब और लोंडे साहब और सूर्य मामा के इनके माध्यम से इनके समझने से हमने एक व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप तैयार किया है और ये व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप पे हमको मैसेज आता है, वैसे हम लोग रुग्ण के पास जाते हैं, उनको हॉस्पिटल पहुंच जाते हैं.
Now, we're not done yet. There is more good news coming your way. The Karnataka government has launched a Quarantine Watch app. Now, the app is for quarantine patients who must send selfies to the government on an hourly basis for monitoring their health status. Pictures sent on the app are strictly protected and used by doctors only. My colleague Ashir Khan reports from Bengaluru.
With the implementation of strict lockdown advisory in Bangalore, the city which was once known as Pensioners' Paradise and Garden City, the chirping of birds can be heard clearly here. But the government is maintaining strict vigilance on those who are quarantined. Unfortunately, the saga of those who attended the Tablighi Jamaat congregation at Delhi also links with South India and has reached Bangalore also. Over 53 people from Karnataka attended this congregation, and Karnataka government has been able to track 13 people who were part of this Tablighi Jamaat congregation, and they have been quarantined medically. Now the government has come up with strict advisory and warned those who have been medically quarantined and are home quarantined, they should send hourly selfie to the government, because this selfie is monitored by the government medically, since it has coordinates of the patients who are staying in their homes, and the government can monitor them on hourly basis. And the government has warned that those who do not send their selfie on hourly basis will be sent to mass quarantines. So the government is taking strict measures to monitor the quarantined people medically. And on the other hand, Karnataka government has also asked the doctors and medical students to register and offer services in the time of crisis. Many students and doctors are registering to come forward and help and counsel people not only fight coronavirus, but also help people dispel their fears about common cold and fever as well. The government is implementing strict measures across the state and says that people who do not follow the strict advisory given by the government will be sent to mass quarantines. And the government has already warned that if the state does not follow the lockdown measures strictly, the government will not hesitate to extend the lockdown in the state. Asha Khanam, Bangalore, DD India.
And that's a wrap on this special broadcast. But news continues here on DD India. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Stay home, stay safe, and please don't forget to wash your hands every few hours. I'm going to leave you with a song specially rendered by Indian singer Shankar Mahadevan.
ऐ वतन मेरे वतन ऐ वतन आबाद रहे तू आबाद रहे तू ऐ वतन वतन मेरे आबाद रहे तू मैं जहाँ रहूं जहाँ में याद रहे तू ऐ वतन मेरे वतन ऐ वतन मेरे वतन तू ही मेरी मंजिल है पहचान तुझी से तू ही मेरी मंजिल है पहचान तुझी से पहुँचूं मैं जहाँ भी मेरी बुनियाद रहे तू पहुँचूं मैं जहाँ भी मेरी बुनियाद रहे तू
महात्मा के मंत्र। खुद वो बदलाव बनिए जो आप दुनिया में देखना चाहते हैं। महात्मा के मंत्र। स्वच्छता में ईश्वर का वास होता है।
और इस गीत के बाद
छाया गीत
ऑल इंडिया रेडियो
फर्स्ट प्राइज जनाब बहुत रोमांचक रही है।
Head of the trade negotiations, Tata stated
दिवस के 7 साल
it has undergone 9 revisions. Kohli with 903 rating points is 34 points behind Smith 900.
All India Radio. The news read by Anuja Kumar. Namaskar.
हिंदुस्तान एक ऐसा मुल्क है, अनेक प्रकार के लोग रहते हैं, बहुत से अलग अलग मजहब है, अलग अलग जाति है और अलग अलग हमारा पोशाक है, अलग अलग हमारी जबान है। ऐसा कोई मुल्क दुनिया में नहीं है
आइए मनोरंजन की एक नई दुनिया में डीडी फ्री डिश, भारत की एकमात्र फ्री डीटीएच सर्विस, जिसमें आपको मिलेंगे मनोरंजन से भरपूर 6 टीवी चैनल्स, 10 मूवी चैनल्स, 7 म्यूजिक चैनल्स,